Yes, welcome to Afrique 24. Welcome to Afrique 24. Good evening and welcome to Afrique 24. My name is Alex Ogega, here to bring you a deep dive into today's most pressing issues shaping Kenya and the world. Tonight we are tackling a full agenda from local politics to international affairs. We'll start with Raila Odinga's newly launched manifesto examining what's fresh in his vision for Kenya, how it resonates with voters, and its potential impact in the upcoming elections. We'll also discuss former Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa's bold appeal for former US President Donald Trump to halt the Haiti deployment, a move that raises questions about Kenya's role on the world stage. Next, we'll turn to Washington, where Secretary of State Antony Blinken has called for accountability on the issue of missing persons, a stance that resonates here in Kenya as we continue to demand justice and transparency for our own citizens. We'll also explore Bishop Muheria's criticism of the government response to daily struggles of ordinary Kenyans, assess the ongoing lecture strike affecting higher education, and report on Kenya's latest mpox cases as health authorities work to contain any potential crisis. Lastly, we look closely at Hulda Mora, a rising figure whose vision could play a pivotal role in shaping Kenya's future. What does she offer and how could her leadership impact our society? So stay tuned as we unpack each of these critical topics, providing you with insights that matter most. Let's get started. So yes, once again, welcome to the show. Let's begin with Raila Odinga's AUC candidacy. With me here is a video of Raila beginning his campaign, and of course, we saw him launching his manifesto. He went to Addis Ababa, and he's getting a lot of support from the president, William Ruto. The 2 days ago, William Ruto went to see Salva Kiir, and we also saw President Ruto went to the COMESA meeting, and the president is a loyal person, as I said before. He's going to uphold his end of the deal, which was to support Raila Odinga in his AUC candidacy, as he does. So let me play a small video of Raila in campaigning for his AUC candidacy.
If you look at the world, you can draw some parallels. Look at the EU. It started as a coal union. Then it evolved over the years. European Free Trade Area Organization, European Economic Commission, and eventually the European Union. Now we took a bold step from the OAU to jump into African Union, trying to bring ourselves to the level with the EU. But we're not there. And all the times there are two things that are all the times at play. Sovereignty and unity. In my view, those two things should not be competing. They are complementary. And if we find a way of dealing with that issue, AU will be able to work for the people of the continent. 1.4 billion. In the next 20 more years, 1/3 of the population is going to be living on this continent. And Africa is the richest continent on the planet Earth in terms of resources. The paradox is the richest is also the poorest in terms of living conditions of its people. This is what we need to be dealing with. And if we deal with that, Africa will rise. And tomorrow I'll be telling you a story of the African lion. And this message to the other animals. So I don't want to preempt what I'm going to say tomorrow. I've acted as high representative on infrastructure on the continent. If you don't address infrastructure, then the bureaucracies which the president is talking about, the non-tariff barriers that we have put against each other, will not be able to benefit from the potential that we have as a continent of Africa. You are here as representatives of your countries. You need to ensure that your presence here benefits your people. So
So yes, that is Raila Odinga, the former ODM party leader, also the Azimio leader, and the former opposition leader of the majority of Kenyans, and he is a former member of parliament for the people of Langata, and he's vying for the AUC chairperson, and he has highlighted on some few things, and he has launched his manifesto, and he's got the support of people like William Ruto, Mudavadi, and the likes of the rest who are supporting his AOC candidature. And with me here is a manifesto that Raila Odinga has spoken about. But before I read it, there are things he has highlighted about. He has spoken about Africa being the continent with the most resources in this world, and unfortunately, Africa still remains to be the poorest continent above all, despite having all the minerals. Our problems are deeply rooted. They go back to colonialism, and some of these things we can blame the white supremacy, and others we will have to blame ourselves, because if we have all these resources in Africa, why aren't we rising? We saw in Burkina Faso before Traore took over. mm, Before Traore took over, we saw they were Burkina Faso was a puppet of the West. They did not have their voice of their own. We saw this country, Burkina Faso. They Burkina Faso is big on creating. They generate uranium, and we saw that it was funny. That country did not have uranium, and France, a country which doesn't generate uranium, has uranium. They even have a museum which creates uranium. So with me here is a manifesto by Raila Odinga, and I will read it to you what he was talking about. The first thing he's talking about is a fast track economic transformation, meaning the economic state of Africa will first rise. When he clinches that seat, we will see us spiraling from a low to a higher state. The same way Ruto told Kenyans that if he gets the seat in 100 days, the gharama ya maisha itashuka. So first economic transformation, and his manifesto also talks about enhancing intra-African trade and infrastructure, meaning that the likes of Comesa and the rest, there will be a lot of intra-African trade between us, and which will generate revenue for the people. And he also highlighted about infrastructure. He mostly emphasized on infrastructure, saying that Africa as a continent, uh, we need to build better infrastructure, of which I second that because in terms of infrastructure, I feel like we still have a long way to go as Africans before we can be able to have better infrastructure in the country. And another thing he spoke about is the financial independence of Africa as a country, meaning yes, financial independence. He also spoke about gender equity and equality, and he finished by talking about agricultural development and climate action. So that is the manifesto of the, our candidate Raila Odinga, and whether he can win the seat, it's debatable. He's up against tough contestants. The guy from Burundi is going to be a very tough contest against him. And for me, my take is Raila has a long way to go before he can clinch the AUC seat. He still has a lot of campaigning to do. Uh, First of all, we can raise questions about his age factor because it plays a very major role. We'll also raise questions about his qualifications. I'm not so sure whether Raila has the academic qualifications to be able to clinch that seat. And last but not least, he's facing tough contests from the guy from Djibouti because I feel that guy is multilingual, can speak multiple languages. So with him visiting many African nations, he can be able to converse with them and convince them to vote for him to be able to clinch the seat. So Raila has a lot of tough tasks ahead of him. So and we move on to the second topic of today, which we are to break down. The second one is a video by Eugene Wamalwa, and we saw today Eugene Wamalwa told Donald Trump to halt the Haiti deployment, and it's a move that raises questions about Kenya's role on the world stage. So we have seen Eugene Wamalwa coming out strongly to talk about the police of the country Kenya, the police of the country Kenya being able to be there. The police are being sent to outside Kenya for them to go and fight for the lives of Haiti, while here in Kenya there's a rampant cases of femicide, there are cases of abductions, killings, and there's no accountability. So the question which Eugene Wamalo was raising is why is it that here in Kenya we find that the police are not catering for the citizens, and yet they go to Haiti to go and try to defend the nation. So those are some of the questions that Eugene Wamalo is facing, and we know very well Eugene Wamalo is going for office in 2027. Some few weeks ago, he came out strongly, him and Kalonzo, to say that they might even boycott Azimio coalition to go form their own, which stands by integrity because they feel like their counterparts ODM, the moment they went to government, they fail to uphold the morals, they fail to uphold the guidelines of the party of the Azimio coalition. So they feel like they're being betrayed right now. That's why him and Kalonzo chose to opt the Azimio to go and form their own, which stands by principles, integrity, the one which is on the basis of serving Kenyans as a whole. So I think Eugene Wamalwa is rising well in politics because he is standing by the people, hoping to deliver to them. So that's why right now we see him as an activist, going to call out the newly elected President Donald Trump, saying that the citizens of the police of Kenya need to be deployed to come back and serve Kenyans, of which is raising very, very good issues. And if in Kenya politics of policy was selling, then Eugene Wamalwa would be somebody who could be considered either as a deputy or as a president, not the tribe effect or what he can do. So Eugene Wamalwa is progressing on well in his political career, and he should maintain his principles, the guidelines, and stick by his morals and always stand by the people of Kenya, because the people of Kenya will always stand by him. And when we all stand by the truth, we shall have a great Kenya, because here in Kenya there are a lot of good leaders. So it's just a matter of the citizens electing the good leaders who can uphold integrity. So what I'm seeing from Eugene Omalo is that somebody is willing to fight for this nation, to try and deliver. So Kenyans should rally behind people who are fighting oppression, people who are fighting against corruption, people who are championing for change, and those are the things which we as citizens should be trying to trying to achieve. So that is the second thing we have talked about. Eugene Omalwa standing, calling out Trump to release the Kenyan soldiers to come and help things here in the country, and it speaks volumes of where we are as a country. See somebody in the comment section. Gypsy Corner, thank you so much. I see you there in the comment section. You're saying hi. How are you, Gypsy Corner? I'm good. What about you? So Gypsy Corner, karibu sana kwenye live. Thank you for being the first person. We start Gypsy, tumeanza na kuchambua manifesto ya Raila. So Gypsy Corner, if you're there in the comment section, I want you to tell me why you think Raila can be. Do you think whether Raila can clinch the AUC seat? Yes, thank you. I'm good too. So I want us to discuss something with you, Gypsy Corner. Do you think Raila can win the AUC chairman? Yes, so that's the question I'm raising to you, Gypsy Corner. Do you think Raila can win the AUC chairmanship? And you also tell us why you think he can win. And if you think he cannot win, you tell us why. Then I will read you the manifesto for Raila Odinga. Then we can try and debate some few things with you, Gypsy Corner, to see whether we can find results to some questions we are raising. So I'm expecting to hear from you, Gypsy Corner. Yes, thank you for the comment. You're saying no, Raila is not going to win. He has never liked leadership. So Gypsy Corner is saying in the comment section, Raila is not going to win because he has never liked leadership. So what is making you say Gypsy Corner Raila has never liked leadership? because that is controversial. Raila has always been Raila has been always in the leadership from his early days in the 90s, in the Moi regime up to now. He's in leadership because he's in government. The government of Kenya is leadership. He has had a lot of handshakes. The 2007 Nusumkate where he became the prime minister. So we can't just say he has never liked leadership. He has liked leadership, and what I can say is that the problem he has made quite a while is that he has been a realist. He has wanted the system to work instead of trying to control the system. He has wanted it to work, and we know politics is a very dirty game. You have to try to influence the result for you to clinch that seat. So thank you, Osam, for coming to the show. I see you there in the comment section. Niaje Osam, I hope you are good wherever you are. Thank you for joining. You are saying Osam is saying Honorable Raila will win the AUC chairmanship 100%. He's qualified as a native of East Africa. He has done much for the greatest economy in East and Central Africa. So what you're saying, Osam, is debatable. It's somehow a bit controversial. You're saying Raila will win because he's qualified as a native of East Africa. He has done much for the greatest economy in East and Central Africa. So my question to you, Osam, is how is that prove it? I want you to explain to me how Raila has done much for the greatest economy in East and Central Africa. How has he impacted? So I'm waiting to hear from you, Osam. Also, Gypsy Corner, I want to hear from you. You're saying Raila cannot win because he has never liked leadership. So why would he vie for the AUC candidacy if he has never liked leadership? So yes, thank you, Osam. I see you there in the comment section. You're saying Raila likes being a second fiddler. He likes being in the shadows of presidents. I wish he wins AUC for peace in Kenya. Otherwise, he won't make any difference in Africa. So also, Gypsy is saying he wishes Raila wins AUC for peace in Kenya. Otherwise, he won't make any difference in Africa. So that is the take of Awesome. And those are not the views of the show. Those are the opinions of Gypsy Corner. He's saying Raila won't make any difference in Africa, of which you see there's something with Kenyan politics, Awesome, which not Awesome Gypsy Corner, whereby we have created a culture where people are not really upholding the people are not being keeping their word. Yani, politicians in Kenya here they don't keep their word. There are people who change like a chameleon, and they can do anything to manipulate the people. So let me read you the manifesto for Raila Odinga for you, Awesome and Gypsy Corner. So you guys will give me feedback. So there is something he spoke about, and he said fast track economic transformation. He also spoke about enhancing intra-African trade and infrastructure. He also spoke about financial independence, gender equity and equality, agriculture, agricultural development, and he also spoke about climate action. So that is the manifesto for Raila in his AUC candidacy. So Gypsy Corner and Awesome, I want you to guys to give me a comment about his manifesto. Do you think he could have drafted a better manifesto? Or do you think even if he gets the AUC chairmanship, will he be able to deliver, or he's just going to be like the president? where you got what you wanted, but you haven't delivered what you said, and you have a manifesto to complete. So, uh, Awesome is saying in the comment section, Kenya being the greatest economy in Central and East Africa, Kenya is a good example of a good democracy. That's the reason why we are here talking politics, and Uganda, Somalia, Sudan are unable to do. Yes, awesome. For the first time, I agree with you on something. Kenya being the greatest economy in Central and East Africa, it's because we are democratic states, and we can discuss politics in here in the country, uh, because we have a constitution that gives us the right to speak. The Kenyan constitution, awesome, gives us the freedom of speech, so that we can say anything. So, and compared to other countries like Uganda, the problem is dictatorship. That's the problem with them. They're still in a dictatorship from Museveni. He has ruled for quite a very, very long time. We are yet to see the changes, and he's still in office and wants to still be in office for the longest time ever. And he's not bringing any change. So Museveni is standing in the way of the people of Uganda. So Museveni has a role to play in the underdevelopment of countries like Uganda. But going forward, what can be done better? I think Uganda to create a system needs to create a system whereby they can remove somebody from office, and like there won't be any chaos, violence, or dictatorship, because in countries like Uganda, democracy is not prevailing. But what I can say is that here in Kenya, as much as we can say we have a good economy compared to the likes of Uganda, Somalia, and etc., etc., we still have a long way to go as a country, because we set the bar so high, and there is a lot of looting of funds, there is embezzlement of funds, and yet the government wants to tax citizens a lot. That's why they drafted the Finance Bill 2024 to go and tax the citizens much more. So yes, we have a good economy compared to South Africa, not South Africa. We have a good economy compared to countries like Uganda and Somalia, but we can still do better, because here in Kenya there is a lot of embezzlement of funds, and there is no accountability. So if we do away with that, then we can rise to the likes of South Africa. So Gypsy Corner in the comment section, you are saying Raila has always confined himself through Kenyan politics, and remember, he has been warned that it's not a retirement chair. So, awesome, Gypsy Corner, you're saying Raila has always conned himself through Kenyan politics, and remember, he has been warned that it's not a retirement chair. Yes, it's not a retirement chair, but I believe the Raila hasn't shown us so much, which I can say that he deserves the seat. And also, we remember that he went into power by signing the a deal on the blood of the youth of this country. For him to be in power right now, it's because he signed a deal on the blood of the people of the country who died. Then he was brought into the government to try and appease the citizens. They tried to flip the script. So that's why right now even Kenyans, some of them who supported Baba, are saying right now they're championing for him to lose the AUC seat. So Awesome, you're saying Raila is a very wise leader. He always puts the country first, despite contested elections. Let's not think he's weak. This man is good for AUC. So Awesome, you're saying Raila is a very wise leader. He has always put the country first. Despite contested elections, let's not think he's weak. No, we are not saying really awesome that Raila is weak. We're just questioning whether he can deliver if he clinches the seat. Will he be able to actualize his manifesto, or it's going to be like President Ruto, whereby you move from place to place, launching projects, and those projects have become they have become ghost projects because most of projects are launched here in Kenya, but they have to be completed. And a good example is the Uruto regime, which up to now hasn't completed the manifesto, and they moved on. So Ruto also being given his time, he hasn't completed the manifesto. So what matters to Africans mostly is leaders finishing their manifesto. So that's what we can question. So, but otherwise, competence, Raila can do it. So the question is whether he can achieve his manifesto. Then, Gypsy Corner saying in the comment section, Kenya is not a democratic state because once you go against the government, you are bound to disappear. So yes, I get what you're saying, Gypsy Corner, right now that our constitution is not being upheld because if you find yourself going against the government, you are bound to disappear, of which it undermines the democracy, our constitution. So a lot of questions are being raised which are yet to be answered about. Because I also saw today on the news, Citizen News, that there is a lady who was crying for her son. She said the son went to the Gen Z demos, and he has never been found. So he's still raising issues. He doesn't know whether to find the whereabouts of his son. Those are questions we can raise, but otherwise, we are a democratic state which is governed by the constitution. Whether the constitution is upheld, it depends on who is in power. I hope I've answered your question, Gypsy Corner. And then you're saying once again, Rwanda has taken over while Kenya is trailing. Alex, are you in Kenya? Nothing is great in Kenya at the moment. So yes, Gypsy Corner, I agree with you. At the moment, nothing is going on well. And Rwanda is overtaking us because Rwanda has done away with corruption. And mind you, we were ahead of Rwanda in terms of the economic state. In terms of if we compared Nairobi and Rwanda, Nairobi and Kigali 10 years ago, Nairobi is far ahead of Kigali. But right now, we are seeing Kigali is coming up better. So Rwanda is slowly bypassing us. They are setting the bar for this country. So in order for us to do well and rise to the level of Johannesburg and the yes the likes of South Africa, we have to do away with this embezzlement of funds, and we need to for our leaders to start pushing and agitating for a better Kenya for us to see rise. Hope I've answered your question. Yes. So, problem with Kenya is corruption. We just need to do away with corruption and have leaders of integrity, and we also need technocrats so that we can find solutions for Kenya going forward. So, awesome. You're saying in the comment section again. Good year. It depends how you view democracy. If Kenya is not a is not a democracy, ask Ugandans and Tanzanians what they think about Kenya. So that is you, awesome, saying in the comment section. So let us move on a bit to something else different. We discussed them. So let us discuss Eugene Wamalwa has called out Donald Trump, asking that to halt the Haiti deployment. So Eugene Wamalwa, who is going for who is who is now with Kalonzo, they are pushing for they are pushing saying they opted to leave Azimio and form their own coalition, which they feel will cater to support which will uphold integrity, and one which they feel will be on the basis of serving Kenyans, since right now they feel ODM went into power and ODM has not really upheld the ethics as per the party. So Gypsecon and Awesome there in the comment section. I have a question for you guys. Do you think Eugene Omalwa has the capability of getting the president or the deputy president? So you tell me there in the comment section. Whether do you think his policies can sell to the people of Kenya? Because I feel like Eugene Omalwa is trying so hard to push for change in this country, and we need people like those ones to go into power who can serve and deliver Kenyans. The people who we feel like will stand on the basis of integrity. So you guys tell me in the comment section. And we have also seen Eugene Omalo raising question that why is it that our leaders are sending police to go to Haiti and fight go to fight the war in Haiti, and yet here in Kenya we have abductions, we have killing, and there is no accountability. So those are some of the questions which people will raise. So Awesome and Gypsy Corner, I hope to see you in the comment section. We discussed the Wamalwa issue. So I see you, Gypsy Corner, in the comment section. You're saying I agree with Wamalwa because the police officers in Haiti are not being paid. No, that's not true. We can't say that the police in Haiti are not being paid. They have to be paid. When they go out there to fight those wars, they have to be paid. And if something happens, they have to be compensated. So, Awesome is saying in the comment section, Wamalo is a joker who's headed nowhere like Morara, unfortunately. So, why do you think Awesome Wamalo is a joker? Why do you think also Morara is headed nowhere? Because I feel like these people are trying to stand on in to are trying to to break barriers. I think these people are trying to agitate for change, and they have not really stood as tribal kingpins to lead where and where. These are just democratic people who want to fulfill their mission. They want to lead and they want to do it very diligently, serve the people of Kenya. So we have to rally behind them because we need leaders who are going to fight for the citizens. So awesome, again in the comment section you're saying the Haiti mission is successful. The only problem is that Kenyans cannot get the credit for the good job done. It has to go to the sponsors, UN. So yes, I get what you're saying. Awesome, you're saying that Kenyans we cannot be given the credit for the good job. It has to go to the sponsors of the United Nations. So what I can say from your statement, Awesome, is there is no need of Kenya being the only country that we are sending our police to go and fight wars in Haiti, and yet we have a American Union, and we also have other countries, not American Union, sorry. We have African Union, and we have a lot of countries in Africa. So it's the responsibility of each and every country to try and send some people to go there and fight the war in Haiti. It's a global thing. So all the countries in Africa, it's high time we come together and we send people to go and fight the war in Haiti, not just Kenya. And we are still yet to know why Ruto would do something like that because it raises questions. Yes, also, yes, Gypsecon, I agree with you. Amalo is sensible. Why would you send Kenyans to fight Americans' war? Very good question that we are raising. So for me, what I can say, Gypsy Corner, is if we are sending our citizens to go and fight we are sending our police to go and fight that war. We also need the police here in Kenya to account for what is happening. There is no need of us sending soldiers to go and police officers to go and fight the war. And yet here we have a lot of crime being rampant. If you watch the Kenyan news each and every day, it's to some point becomes depressing because you're only hearing of crime, murder, femicide, abductions. So and which leaves people with a lot of questions to raise on the issues. So there's no need of us sending police officers to go and fight in Haiti, and yet here we are things are happening and there is no any form of accountability. So it raises a lot of questions. So I see what you're saying, the comment section, Gypsy Corner, saying black be real. You know Kenyans shouldn't be in Haiti. We need them to solve Kenyan problems in Kenya. Yes, before we go to Haiti to try and liberate Haiti, we have to start by liberating our own. Because many things happening in Kenya right now, and there is no accountability, which leaves us raising questions. Why send our people out there, and yet things are happening in the country, and nothing is going on right, and there is no. That's why we're saying this is the one of the worst governments we have ever seen in the country. At least with the previous regime, it wasn't good, but this one was. This one is 5 times much worse. So, what Eugene Omalo is doing, I second you, Gypsy Corner. Let us push for leaders like Eugene Omalwa so that they can go and try to liberate the country. Yes. So we move on swiftly to something else. There are many top stories to talk about. So we have tackled the Eugene Omalwa issue. So, and next we turn to Washington, where Secretary of State Antony Blinken has called for accountability on the issue of missing persons, a stance that resonates here in Kenya as we continue to demand justice and transparency for our own citizens. So, even to you, Osam and Gypsy Corner, I want you to give me your take in the comment section about the Secretary of State Antony Blinken calling for accountability on the issue of missing persons. So I want you guys to write me there in the comment section, and we have done two topics already: the issue for Eugene Wamalwa and the one for Raila's AUC candidature. So right now let us break down this question that Blinken has raised, of which it's a good thing when we hear things like those being raised by people outside there, because it shows us that we have the support. The human rights is very quiet, which raises questions. For the Hague, the International Criminal Court (ICC), we expect them to go after the president and the deputy after they have finished their term, so that they can be able to account for things that are happening. Because we thought we would be done with the days of bodies being thrown in Rivala with this new regime, which was happening in the times of Uhuru. People, we had a lot of people's bodies being thrown in Rivala, which is not a good thing. But we are seeing the issue still continues, and we also saw when Kindiki was addressing the nation, when he was asked about the abductions, he said he had passed over the baton to the counterparts. So I want you guys, Awesome and Gypsy Corner, to give me your views there in the comment section as we try and break down. So I see you there in the comment section. Awesome is saying Kenya has no problem. The only thing we have is a self-centered region who think they have a right to lead the country forever. So, to, to respond to you also, in the Kenyan Constitution under Article 34, if I'm not wrong, I stand to be corrected. I think it's under Article 34. It says we are supposed to elect leaders of integrity, and that's what leadership entails: electing leaders of integrity. And if you are a leader of integrity, you are elected, you have to cater for those ones who voted for you and those ones who did not vote for you, because that is what democracy entails. So I don't know which community you're referring to, Awesome, when you say the only thing we have is a self-centered region who think they have a right to lead the country forever. So I hope I have responded to you, Awesome. Though I feel like that's why I'm saying the issue with Kenyan politics is that it's 100% based on ethnicity, and we are not really going by the policies that are being sold. So, which will raise a lot of questions. And say, Gypsecon, I see you there in the comment section. You're saying that Alex body parts being thrown everywhere has been happening in Kenya since independence, but it's the degrees that matter the moment. No one has ever been held accountable. Yes, Gypsy, I agree with you. The issue of bodies being thrown has been rampant for the longest time ever, though it's not a good thing that it's happening. We condemn all of it that is happening because life is precious, human life is precious very much. Everyone is important. No one deserves to lose a loved one through body being thrown in Raila or anywhere. But with this new regime of Ruto in the year 2022, before and immediately after election, we expected to try and at least do away with bodies being thrown everywhere. So I hope I have answered your question, Gypsy Corner. So I see you there. Awesome, you're saying in the comment section that leadership is a process. The Western or Nyanza think they can produce a good leader. I support them. Let's see what happens after that before we talk about integrity. No, we cannot do that. Awesome, Ati. We first look at the Western or the Nyanza leaders because leadership is about integrity, not about ethnicity. And integrity does not come with age. Integrity is what is in you as a person. So I hope I have answered your question. So, and we also are a country that is governed by the constitution. By the constitution. So, if the constitution states that we are supposed to elect leaders of integrity, we have to uphold that. It doesn't speak about ethnicity. So, anywhere can raise leaders. We have more than 42 communities in Kenya, some which you don't know. Yes, so I hope I've answered your question. So, yes, I hear you, Sekona. So, let us move on swiftly to something else. So, we have tackled that issue with Eugene Wamalwa. So, as we move on swiftly, we are talking about Blinken on the issue of missing persons. We hope to have some sort of stability and accountability, because if it reaches the point where U.S. Secretary Anthony was complaining about the missing people, it shows that we there is justice out there. There may not be justice here in the country, but at least there's justice outside there. And when people keep on pushing, because social media is a very powerful tool, and right now we have online media, which we can try to use it to fight the abductions and the killings. And when we raise a voice, we will be heard. We will be heard. The government will respond. So we're moving on to the next thing, which spoke about will my younger brother Alex. So awesome, you're saying in the conversation, my younger brother Alex, I have been in this country enough to know what I'm talking about. Your answer is not good enough to solve the Kenyan political problem. You see, as I'm saying to you, awesome, uh, mm, the Kenyan politics, when we're electing leaders, we have to elect leaders of integrity because I'm telling you that's what the constitution says. That's not what I'm saying. Even though, yes, I know politics is more of regionalism. But if we are to speak truthfully, where have we reached with the politics of ethnicity? Where has it taken us as a country? Right now, we said Rwanda is almost bypassing us. So I get you. You are saying awesome that the next president should come from Nyanza or Western. Then from there we can proceed. So to you, awesome. I don't have a problem with Nyanza giving us a president or Western giving us a president. But if they give us a president, they have to give us a president of integrity, someone who can come in and deliver to the citizens. Because we don't need the shareholding thing or fighting over the loot. So I hope we can move on to the next thing. So with me here, I will play a small video. Then after playing with the video, we will talk about something else. So let me play the video. So it seems I don't have the video with me, but we'll discuss it because you have seen the Bishop Moheria. We have seen the Bishop Moheria came out to clearly criticize the government, and he spoke about the government being so. You're saying awesome. You can't force them, Alex, to give us a good president. We'll evaluate him thereafter. Uh, so you see, awesome. So you see, to you, awesome. I think I've said this so many times. You're saying that we evaluate them thereafter. So you see, if we continue with if we continue with this politics of regionalism, for me, I don't have a problem with what you're saying. That next president should come from Nyanza or Western. It's good, but if they come from Nyanza or Western, they have to deliver. That's why I said leaders of integrity. So if the next one comes from Nyanza and Western, I don't have a problem with it as long as they can deliver. Because you have to finish your manifesto and you have to unite the nation because the president is a symbol of national unity. So it's not just leaders because I don't see the need of having a leader from Nyanza or Western and comes in and does what we have seen from Ruto. We need somebody who can come in and do away with corruption. We need somebody who can come in and revive the industries. We need someone who can come in and somebody who can stabilize the health sector because the education sector is not running. The teachers are on strike, and institutions are not running in the country. The economy is downgrading. So if we get somebody from Nyanza or Western who can come and do that, 100% support. So that because also politics is about perception. So people need to feel like they're in power. So if the people of the Western and the Nyanza want to feel like they're in power, we support. And a good leader I can call from the Western region is Okiya Omtata. Okiya Omtata is from Busia. He is a good leader, and he has proven time in time out he has been fighting for he has fought bad governance in this country. He is a leader who we know he can uphold the constitution, and somebody who can deliver 100% without any form of corruption. And from the Nyanza, we have people like the likes of Babowino, who I think is an intellectual. I think Babowino is qualified. He has stood by the people time in, time out. We cannot say Babowino is perfect, but he can deliver. So I see you there. Also, I'm in the comment section. You're saying you like I like Okio Mtata is my kingpin. Yes, Okio Mtata is a good leader. Me, I will always support somebody who I feel is somebody who can deliver to the citizens. We have to give him support. So a minute I respond to you or some. So I see you there. You're saying they say that the tribe problem, Alex, did not begin with the white man. This is something they found with us. Therefore, there's nothing that we can do about it. The only thing is to come to a consensus. You see, let me respond to that. Awesome. Thank you for that comment. If you checked the Gen Z demonstrations when people went out to the streets, they identified as tribeless, fearless, leaderless, meaning that they cannot be mobilized into tribes to go there and vote. For the Gen Z demonstrations, if the youth today vote, they will go and vote in the person whom they feel is going to do the job. And you see, the youth are many in this country. If we check the population, so you see, we cannot 100% say that we do away with the tribe. We do away with the tribalism. Tribalism is not the same thing. It's different. So where we are headed to the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years, this politics of regionalism is going to reduce to a substantial amount of. So if leaders want to be elected, they will have to come up with policies. They will have to uphold integrity. I hope I've responded to you, Sam. James Second is saying Baboino can't lead. He's part of the opportunistic group, opportunistic gang. So let me respond to you, Osam. You're saying Baboino because it's part of the opportunistic gang. The reason why I'm saying I'm forwarding a name like Baboino is because I I have been to Embakasi a number of times, Embakasi East. I see the things which Baboino is doing, and if I follow up with his manifesto, I see the things he's trying to achieve his manifesto before 2027 to see whether he can vie for the candidacy of Nairobi. So, as I said before, no one is perfect. Yes, he is in ODM, and I can give you another example of somebody who I feel is a good leader, who is Richard Onyonka, and he's somebody who has kept the government on check. He has exposed bad governance, and he is in ODM. So, to respond to you, Sam, again, you're saying the problem with Gen Zs was that they thought they could overtake the generations ahead of them instead of building themselves. In the US previous election, they joined the rest to vote. So, Yes, Osam, I get what you're saying. I agree with you when you say they thought they could overtake the generations ahead of them. So with the youth of this country, people are not really heavily involved in politics, and so it's just that people felt like this finance bill was going to hurt Kenyans. That's why they started to go there to the streets to demonstrate. Because and we were seeing that why should the Kenyans be overtaxed, and yet we are seeing people the likes of Oscar Sudi and Kipchumba Murkomen are flaunting expensive watches. So those are the questions which people raise. That's why they went to the streets. Not to say that the youth of this country are very knowledgeable about the politics. So the people just need to be taught. They should also accept to learn, and if you they need to also incorporate other generations for us to have a nation, because it's not just about the Gen Zs, it's also about the generation Y, generation X, and the generation Alpha. You're saying I hope they've learned something. Yes, I hope they have also learned something from the demonstrations. Sorry, not from the demonstrations. I hope they have learned something uh, in politics, and going forward by the year 2027 they would have learned more things. Yes, so it's a learning process for them. Overtaking a generation ahead of you doesn't work. The US has shown us Trump is the president elect because of the Gen Zs. So yes, I get what you're saying, awesome. Though I cannot really comment so much about the politics in US, being someone in Kenya, the focus is more on our politics here, the things that are happening here in the country. So I hope I have tried to answer some of your questions, awesome and Gypsy Corner. Thank you guys so much for keeping the comment section always alive as we try to break down things that are happening here in the country. If you're joining with us on X, make sure you like, subscribe, and share Flick24. And thank you for joining us. We appreciate all of you, and we're here to break down the things that are happening in the country. We move on swiftly to the next thing. We explore. We Bishop Muheria criticized the government response to the daily struggles of ordinary Kenyans. So we have seen the bishop of the Catholic Church called Muheria coming out to clearly speak, and he said that this government is not really adhering to the plight of Kenyans. It is they are doing things without the consulting the citizens. There is no public participation, and like I said before, they are not really trying to uphold the constitution. So I need to get your views, Gypsy Corner and Awesome. Thank you, Gypsy. You're saying nice show. Thank you. We work so hard to bring you these shows where we can try and educate each other, try and enlighten each other on matters so that we can learn and we can grow and we can do better as citizens of the country. So for the longest time, the church has come under a lot of scrutiny from the media, from the people. Church has been labeled as it has lost its value, where politicians go and stand and speak, and they be able to politicize and speak bad about each other in churches. That's one of the things which the demonstrations people refused them, because we felt like they are using the wrong forum to politicize. But right now we are seeing the church coming out clearly to condemn something, and one of them is Bishop Muheria, who came out to condemn the act of this government doing things without consulting the citizens. he spoke about the Shah and the sheep, saying that the Shah and the sheep has not really delivered to the Kenyans as expected. People are not able to be treated because NHIF has been done away with. So I expect to see you guys in the comment section, Gypsy Corner and Awesome. I expect you guys to give me a view. So what is your take? What is your take, you guys, on the church commenting on matters that are happening in the country? So to you, over to you, Gypsy and Awesome. I expect you guys to leave me a comment there so that we can talk. Has the church really done enough to try and condemn matters that are happening in the country? So I'm expecting to hear from you, Gypsy Corner and Awesome, about the. So I hear you, Gypsy Corner, saying once the religious leaders don't give the politicians a platform and even take their money, then the church will be doing what it's meant for. At the moment, we can't take the church seriously. So thank you for that comment, Gypsy Corner. And you're saying we can't take the church seriously because the religious leaders don't give the politicians. So what you're saying is that let me even upload the. You're saying once the religious leaders don't give the politicians a platform and even take their money, then the church will be doing what it's meant. For the moment, we can't take the church seriously. So yes, I agree with you. The churches should stop giving politicians platform, and they should stop taking their money because we feel like that's why the politicians are able to take advantage and to be able to say whatever they want because feel like uh, they will feel like they have already paid for it. So but I think we should be giving we should give the flowers where necessary. If the church comes out to condemn something about the government, we give them their flowers, and if they do something wrong, we criticize them because religion is the opium of the society, and religion should be something which should be setting the setting things right for the society. So and it has not been happening in Kenya for a while, which leaves us raising a lot of questions about the integrity of the church. So I see you again, Gypsy. You're saying, in other words, religious leaders are on government and MP's side. And over to you, Gypsy. So, and why do you think they're on the side? Is it because of the funding or whatsoever? But we have seen some religious leaders standing their ground, and a good example is Pastor Tony Kiama. Pastor Tony Kiama, who came out clearly to condemn this government for fighting over loot and calling it, saying that this is not really the government of God because the government of God will not be doing what we are seeing from these religious leaders. So yes, Gypsy, I hear what you're saying. You're asking me how many religious leaders have come out to condemn the government apart from one or two. So yes, we have only seen a minority of the leaders who are coming out to condemn the bad governance. But I think there are also maybe this is maybe there are some who do it, but they haven't gotten the opportunity to reach the mainstream media, because you see also the mainstream media is also very biased with whatever they do. But a small minority, yes, I agree with you, either one or two or three have come out to really condemn things, and then others have been quiet, probably because maybe they received funding from the church, and of which if they received funding from the church, that's why they kept quiet on things that are happening in the society. Then that church has lost its credibility already. Oh, you're asking me also what was my previous question? My previous question is, do you think the church is doing enough to criticize the government? Or yes, do you think the is the church coming out strongly to condemn things that are happening in the society or not? So that was my question, awesome. And if whatsoever back to Egypt's economy, my question is, what do you think the church can do better to be able to regain its credibility? What do you think they can do better going forward so that we can take the church to back the days where it was highly respected and stood by principles and condemned acts which happened in the country? So that's my other question to Gypsy Corner. What can the church do better to regain its credibility? So as I wait for your response, Gypsy Corner, let us tackle something else. Let us tackle something else, which it's not the first day it's happening. So let me read your comment. Also, you're saying that also you're saying the church is very independent of our views about condemnation. Let's not criticize them because of our beliefs and thoughts about politics in our country. So yes, thank you, Sam, for that comment. I get what you're saying. You're not supposed to criticize because of our beliefs and thoughts about politics in our country. Okay, yes, I get your point of view, but I still have a question. If the church has lost its credibility, because our politicians have used that platform to be able to politicize. They have used that platform to be able to manipulate citizens to go and vote for them. So, what do you think can the church do going forward to be able to regain its credibility and be able to win people over to Christ before we tackle the next subtopic? So, as we move to the next topic, So we move on swiftly as I wait to hear from you, Osam and Gypsecon in the comment section. So the next thing we'll be tackling is the lecturer strike continues. But before that, let me read your comment. Osam, you're saying, what happened to freedom of speech? The church got involved in politics. You're saying the church got involved in politics so we can criticize them. Okay, I get what you're saying, Awesome. Let, let me move to the next subtopic. So, the ongoing lecturer strike affecting higher education, and it has also so to you, Awesome and Gypsy, we have seen that lecturers have been on strike for 9 days. We also saw the Mo University having some issues with payments, and our lecturers are yet to be paid. And the lecturers are the ones who are play a big role in the society because they teach students to go and become journalists. Lecturers are the ones who train doctors, they train engineers, like all these professions we're seeing in the country. Uh, there has to be a lecturer to be able to influence that, and sometimes the what they do goes highly underestimated. So right now the lecturers are yet to be paid. The cabinet secretary for education, he's called Migos. He's quiet about the issue. So the UASU union are calling for him to retire from office and leave it to. So also, you're saying we can't blame the lecturers, Alex. Everyone works for a living. It's not a charity. So I think, Osam, you haven't gotten me. I'm not blaming the lecturers for striking. My question is, why do you think the lecturers are striking? And why is it an issue that is not being addressed? Because it's been 9 days. They haven't been at work, and the semester is almost coming to an over. Parents of students are raising questions. What is going to happen if the strike continues and students are not able to finish the semester? And you see, there is another semester which is supposed to start in January. So it's raising issues. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's bad for the lecturers to strike because they also have an opportunity to exercise their constitutional right of going to the street to demonstrate peacefully, which they are doing. The question that I am raising is, does the cabinet secretary for education and the government really care to resolve the issue, or they are just being ignorant? So those are the questions I am raising. So the issue is education, and I hope the government will be able to finish up with the issue of education, because lecturers need to be paid. They have gone for months without a salary, and it's underestimated what they do, but they try very hard to try and they are the ones who shape the society because they they teach many professions, and they make people who they are. If you see somebody is a good journalist, thanks to lecturers taking their time and effort. If you see doctors, if you see engineers, if you see chefs, if you see all of these professions, the work ethic of the lecturers to which they put in. So they need to be appreciated what they do in the society. So I see what you're saying in the comment section. Gypsy Corner asking me, Alex, would you like to work without pay and awful conditions? No, I wouldn't want to do that. But you see, sometimes it's about passion. A passion. So the lecturing teaching thing, it's a passion, and it's a profession which should be respected by the government because you have to pay people haki yao. Same way if you go to a matatu, you have to pay the conductor the 50 or 100 bob because they deserve it. It's their right to get that. So everyone has a right to be entitled to a good salary. And if you have a contract that you're supposed to be paid this amount, and your work is supposed to be done within a certain time frame, when it reaches, you're supposed to receive your payment. No one deserves to go months without a payment, and you work hard, and lifestyle in Nairobi is quite a bit expensive. So it's not easy to survive without a salary. So yes, thank you, Gypsy Corner, for the question, and thank you guys so much for keeping the comment section alive. So yes, I see you awesome. So you're saying, Gypsy Corner, that we can call it passion. For example, you go to the hospital, they want the money before the treatment. So I get what you're saying, awesome. And what I don't know the policies that are there in the hospital, but I do believe they're supposed to cater to the person who is sick, and afterwards is when they're supposed to receive their payment. So this thing of asking for payment before treatment, it's not a good thing to do, but also again it's not a good thing to go months without a salary, cause and people need to raise their issues, and they need to be heard. They haven't been paid, they need to complain until they receive payment. So awesome, you're asking me where is Mzalendo? Come back. I know Kamala disappointed you. Yes, so Mzalendo today is not available, but as we go on, he might join the show, or if he doesn't join, he will have another show at 6 p.m. Kenyan time to be able to discuss issues. And I know you won the bet because you are supporting Trump and you are supporting Kamala Harris. Yes, so Mzalendo is there. So I hope we are done with the issue to do with the strike. So let us move on swiftly to something as we wind up the show. So you guys who are in the in the states, Awesome and Gypsy Corner, we have seen a Kenyan-born immigrant from Nyamira. She is Huda Momanyi, who has clinched the senator for the people of Minnesota. And celebrations have been underway here in Kenya, and people are celebrating her, and she has been. So, Gypsy saying Zalendo is dodging me. Alex, tell Zalendo, I've not forgotten about my bet. So, Gypsy I get what you're saying. Zalendo will pay your bet. He's not running away. He just couldn't join the show, but he will join the show. He will have maybe another show at 6 p.m. Kenyan time. So in general, Mzalendo cannot run away from the show. So as we head on to wind up, I want you guys to tell me what's your take on Huda Huda Momanyi being winning the senatorial seat in Minnesota. Do you guys think she will be able to deliver? And before we move on, I want to hear from you, Sam and Gypsy. Do you guys think the lady Huda Mora will be able to deliver, knowing that she clinched the senator seat, the, the first Kenyan immigrant to be able to do that? So as I wait to hear from you guys, I think the Huda Mora has shown Kenyans that it's possible, knowing the fact that she grew up in Nyamira, and to be able to rise to that point, she has shown the people that anything is possible. That if you have a dream, if you have a dream, you have to fight for it. And do you guys there in the comment section think that if she chose to go the Kenyan political way, would she be able to really get any seat, let's say like the presidency? Because our politics is limited to ethnicity. Do you think Huda Mora would have clinched the presidency seat if she chose to politicize in Kenya? So I'm waiting to hear from you, Sam and Gypsy Corner. You guys need to tell me what can we expect from Huda. So I see you in the comment section. Also, you're saying, we have had Kenyans in Australia, UK leading as mayors and councillors. Yes, we have had. Yes, true. Awesome. I'm not going to deny it, but I saying, she is the first immigrant to clinch a senatorial seat in the United States of America. But we have heard from other countries, which it's true. Oh, I get you in the comment section also. You're saying you have no idea about the Kenyan representative in the US, but you congratulate a good job. Yes, yes, thank you for that. Awesome. I get what you're saying, and I also do congratulate her for clinching the seat. She's showing many Kenyans that it's possible to be able to move from Kenya and to go to the states and to be able to fight for what you feel is right. And if she not if after getting the job, what I can say that she needs to do her best to be able to represent the people of Kenya, and we wish her the best. We wish Kenya the best. So, and as I'm coming to the conclusion of the show tonight, Mzalendo shall return with another show. Boniface Kimanzi will be back with another show, and also we expect to have another show with Leo Nyabaya. And okay, get to Gypsy You're saying it depends how strong you are to handle a position. Yes, and we hope she is able to do well. And when she does well, she will be representing the people of Kenya. We hope she is strong, resilient, she has good policies, and we hope she will deliver to the people of Minnesota. As she is right now a motivation to Kenyans everywhere that anything is possible. We go with the Lupita saying, dreams are valid. So for you, Osam and Gypsy Corner, do not be uh, nasema yani msiogope. Mzalendo will be here. He will have another show. We will have a lot of shows with Boniface Kimanzi will be coming soon, a show with Leo Nyabaya very soon, and Mzalendo will have another show where he will be hosting. So there's a lot of shows. Then Mzalendo has to uphold what he said and pay you guys the debt. And for me, my time is coming to an end of the show. We have done this thing for 2 hours. It's going to be 1 a.m. Kenyan time. And what I can my take from the show is that let us keep on pushing for change in this country. Let us keep on agitating. Then finally, I don't know how long it will take, but by the end of it all, we will have done our best and we shall be able to invoke change in this country. Thank you for awesome and Gypsy Corner. You guys have kept the comment section alive, and we shall do this thing next time. But for now, uh, for now, I say bye. Thank you once again for awesome and Gypsy Corner for showing up. And if anyone is joining from X, from YouTube, from Facebook, or anywhere, we welcome you to Afrik, and make sure to leave a like and comment, and also subscribe to our channel. And you won't regret subscribing because we got you covered with very good very good shows and videos. We educate you, we inform you, we ensure we incorporate each and every one. And see you guys in the next show. Thank you. Thank you once again, Gypsy Corner. Thank you.